Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Wednesday, October 16, 2019. Lots of stuff going on this morning. Let's start off here with the basics. Right now, it looks like stocks are about to open flat. Things can change. The market doesn't open for about another 45 minutes. We'll see how that plays out. Gold and silver are about flat. Cryptocurrencies are under a little bit of pressure here, which you should expect in this environment. Again, it's risk on. It is risk on right now, despite the fact that we just found out this morning, retail sales again falling off of a cliff. Now remember, retail sales, consumer spending is the backbone of the U.S. economy. Now, speaking about that, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, has been screaming from rooftops for quite a long time regarding corporate debt levels. The IMF believes that the amount of debt that corporations have taken on is dangerous and presents risk to those who are invested in it. Why? Why are they saying this? Well, again, they've been screaming from rooftops for a long time that we are in a global slowdown that includes the United States. Now, let's put this into a very simple perspective. What does this mean, corporate debt being at the levels where they are now? And you, because this affects you. People don't pay attention until it affects them, and this has the potential to affect you directly. Especially if you work for one of these multinational corporations or a subsidiary. It's very simple to understand. So right now we understand, and this should be no surprise or shock to anyone. We have not just personal debt levels, household debt levels at historic highs, but this is a phenomenon that is bleeding across the spectrum of everything you can possibly think of, including corporations who are in debt beyond their eyeballs for the most part. And it's not that they owe the money. So don't like, oh, it's the corporations. No, it's in many ways the regular guy, the regular girl who through some kind of investment portfolio is exposed to corporate debt. Now, the bigger picture is those that are, again, working for these corporations. So let's just say, for example, President Trump says we're all rich, so we can't be going into recession. But let's say things aren't as rosy as a picture as our president is painting. I mean, we are in full-blown absolute crisis mode with the Federal Reserve doing what they're doing now, completely rigging the debt market, debt again, buying every aspect of it, suppressing rates, recapitalizing the banks, but everything is just great. You're supposed to know that or think that or be led to believe that or be fist-fed that that's the case. Again, I would be willing to bet our president is not going to mention the fact that retail sales fell off of a cliff here, that our manufacturing sector is now fully in contraction, our service sector in contraction, our economy is in free fall, and the Federal Reserve's actions are proving this. So going back to corporate debt levels, so let's say, for example, that our economy, again, isn't as great as we're being told it is, and all of a sudden we go into recession. How are these corporations and companies going to deal with their exceeding debt levels? They're going to deal with it in one way right off the bat, by waves of layoffs. And I've explained this to you. And we're seeing it already, people. Open your eyes. The fake U3 numbers, the nonsense that you're being led to believe. Yesterday's article took the cake for me, and I outlined this to you. The Federal Reserve, the New York Fed, put out a survey, and their survey said that U.S. consumers believe there's no inflation. It's a lie, and it's propaganda along with everything else. People, let's just summarize what's going on around us real quick. We have central banks around the world working in unison to flood the world with epic sums of debt. We are in a debt crisis unlike we have ever seen before. There's been nothing like this. This is way worse than the financial crisis. And all they're doing is fueling the monster of debt by compounding it every single day. And central banks around the world, including the Fed, have been absolutely unleashed, following the lead of their leaders like Donald Trump, calling for lower rates, calling for rate suppression, calling for everything you can imagine to keep this suspended and fooling people into believing that what they're seeing is not real. Hence the article by the New York Fed. Oh, there's no inflation. That's what consumers are saying. So this should put a perspective on what's going on and why, again, it is so important for you to take advantage of what I said would happen on Saturday, and we're going to continue to see it for a little while. Suppression of metal prices, suppression of cryptocurrency prices based in dollars. There's no doubt about it. And again, if you believe that you should, no, I got to stay in a fiat currency no matter what it is around the world, then be my guest and do that. But the long run here is just so easy to understand. All of this is just so easy to understand. Get diversified. Get outside the box regard to thinking. Get in other assets. Start to own things outright. Get yourself out of this debt slave mentality. You need to borrow. You need to do this. Look. Why do you think the banks are being recapitalized right now, being allowed to borrow cash from the Fed for nothing, so they can lend it to you at exorbitant prices? You want to let them win like that? Then good for you. Go out there and buy another house. Go out there and take a loan against your equity in your home if you have any. Go out and buy a new car. Go ahead. Bury yourself in debt even worse and see how it works out for you. Become the slave that they want you to be. Or do something about it. All right, anyway. So in summary, right now, looks like a flat open for the market. Metals are flat. You got crypto under a little bit of pressure here. Take advantage of these things. All right, with that said, we will summarize all this at the end of the day. Think about what I have said here in this video. Does it make sense to you? Does anything I've said to you make sense to you, or is Greg out there? Let me know. I love you a lot. See you at the end of the day.